Ancient yoga practitioners and followers of Buddhism, for example, have consistently emphasized the importance of keen observation. To genuinely observe something, you have to dedicate your focus to it. This implies that by granting the right attention, we have the ability to bring about a favored quantum occurrence in our existence. In this video, I will elucidate how someone can employ their attention to shape the reality they aspire to experience. Mastering the ability to guide your attention is the most powerful action you can take as a collaborator in creating your reality. Let's delve into how our attention determines the version of reality that comes to pass. To understand this concept, it is essential to understand the dynamics of energy flow. When you find yourself in a life situation where progress seems illusory and efforts towards a goal prove unproductive, or recurring patterns persist like an incessant roller coaster ride, it becomes essential to discern the points where energy stagnates. Energy stagnation occurs when it is unable to move freely, hindering the necessary flow and resulting in the repetition of identical circumstances. The guiding force behind the trajectory of energy is attention. Energy follows the path of our attention. The direction in which our focus and attention are directed dictates the course of the energy flow. What often escapes people is the realization that our attention has two main forms: polar and non-polar attention. Polar attention has the ability to attract and push away aspects of reality. When a difficult situation changes perspective, it becomes a solution. Two sides of the same coin. This is the essence of polar attention, simultaneously attracting one thing and repelling another. Now, let's delve deeper into this exploration. Alongside polar attention, there is apolar attention, which remains totally impartial and has the ability to dissolve reality. With regard to the manifestation of quantum events in our lives, let's examine two forms of polar attention: positive attention and negative attention. When we hold positive thoughts about a subject, the universe is indifferent to the intrinsic nature of our attention. It focuses on the content. As elucidated in the previous video, harboring aversion to something will attract more related events into our lives. On the other hand, expressing affection for something will attract more of what we hold dear. This is the crux of the matter. As human beings, our life experiences have ingrained in us a conditioning to function within the realms of fear and survival mode, as this has become intrinsic to our biology. The main focus of our conditioning has been survival, making it the supreme and potent force in our lives. The most crucial and powerful method for survival is the identification and avoidance of any potential threats to our well-being. Consequently, we are conditioned to exist in a constant state of protection, avoiding conflict and minimizing exposure to risk. A significant number of individuals have been shaped by this conditioning. Due to this ingrained programming, we consistently find more worries preoccupying our thoughts. Reflect on the content presented in the media and on social networks, and observe why fear tends to proliferate more than any other feeling. This exemplifies how external influences have the ability to manipulate and shape our perspectives. Many individuals pride themselves on their willingness to get involved in conflicts in order to safeguard something they hold dear. While this commitment is commendable, it often results in a lack of awareness about the true nature of events. Harnessing anger makes it easily manipulable to induce desired actions, just as inciting fear can lead individuals to carry out specific tasks. Fear, anger, and pride are the emotional states in which society traps and surprises us. Directing our attention to sensations that stimulate actions contrary to our desired inclinations. The recurring pattern of similar relationships persists for most individuals due to the attachment of past traumas. Their attention is predominantly fixed on avoiding relationships similar to those they have experienced before. inadvertently attracting the same type of relationships and partners into their lives. Many individuals face trauma from past events, and their apprehension of reliving these experiences becomes a predominant influence on the dynamics of their relationships. In the scenario where we find ourselves in a reality marked by a current situation, faced with a crucial point in our life trajectory, perhaps a challenge at work involving a coworker, employee, or other issue, the perception we choose becomes paramount. Opting for a positive perspective and directing our attention to the content of positive possibilities, such as seeing the situation as an opportunity for personal growth, allows us to overcome the challenge and emerge stronger. In this case, we are actively attracting the energy and reality that align with our positive attitude. The determination that a situation is negative often stems from an assumption based on fear. Fear tends to amplify itself, creating a cycle of increasing apprehension. As beings capable of experiencing emotions, our inclination is to seek validation for our feelings by contemplating additional factors that may intensify the existing fear. This process emerges from our inherent need to feel alive and survive, dictated by our biological condition. In a state of fear, we tend to compile a list of potential problems, leading to heightened negativity. Consequently, this negative attention begins to influence the content of our focus. The underlying challenge lies in achieving harmony between heart and mind. When negative feelings arise in the heart, the mind quickly generates corresponding negative thoughts, leading to the manifestation of those thoughts. This shift puts us on a trajectory where more negative events unfold. However, the central factor in this dynamic is non-polar, neutral attention. When we observe occurrences with neutral, apolar attention, they simply enter our lives and pass by, without influence to exert power over us. Consider an unpleasant situation. Adopting a neutral, non-polar perspective involves recognizing it without attaching positivity or negativity. In doing so, your life path remains unchanged. The situation simply dissolves. Many individuals, however, face past traumas and fears by inadvertently giving them negative attention. Reflect on this process. When faced with intense feelings from unpleasant past experiences, the common reaction is to avoid or run away because of the discomfort they evoke. Paradoxically, this act of resistance inadvertently strengthens the past, causing it to persist and exert an opposing force. Throughout our lives, a common pattern emerges. We consistently resist events from our past that we find unpleasant, anchoring us in a state of trauma. Consequently, situations persistently arise that validate that trauma. It is essential to recognize that every situation has two sides to it, and that the power to choose how to perceive it lies entirely within you. Understanding this fundamental aspect allows you to navigate and shape your reality effectively. Now, let's delve into how you can harness this understanding to create your reality with intention and effectiveness. The initial step in this process is to integrate polar and non-polar attention, an essential concept that requires careful consideration. The approach involves 3 fundamental steps, and by adhering to them, the energy directed at negative attention can dissipate. This, in turn, frees up more energy to nurture the positive version of reality you want to build. Let's delve into how this method works, starting with the first crucial step, acceptance. In situations that feel like an abyss, where we seem to have reached rock bottom, the crucial initial step is acceptance. When we embrace acceptance, resistance becomes impossible. Simultaneous resistance and acceptance cannot coexist. Acceptance serves as an antidote to resistance, redirecting energy instead of accumulating it. Recognize that your goals are eager to materialize, and that the only obstacle is your own presence in the way. To pave the way for their manifestation, you must step back. Start by fully accepting your current situation, recognizing any problems or challenges in your life. Visualize these difficulties as if they had already occurred, fully embracing your existence, and observe how life goes on despite them. This change of perspective allows you to detach yourself from worry and the frightening nature of your worst nightmares. This acceptance is vital, as some may fear that acknowledging the worst-case scenario will draw you into their lives. On the contrary, accepting the worst-case scenario means stopping feeding it with the energy of resistance. Continued resistance only amplifies the likelihood of its occurrence. Neutral attention, which comes into play after acceptance, allows you to step back and let events unfold without further interference. Acceptance, in essence, is neutral attention. Initiating any change in our lives requires starting with acceptance, complete, total, and integral acceptance of the present moment. The present moment is immutable, resistant to alteration, because it continually transforms into the past before we can understand it. Recognizing this, we understand that trying to change the present is futile. Instead, we must select our preferences for the next moments. Often, we deceive ourselves by perceiving events as failures when they unfold differently than anticipated. This attachment leads to identification with our actions, evoking worst-case scenarios that we accept wholeheartedly. However, by embracing full acceptance of even the worst outcomes, we diminish their importance and free ourselves from unnecessary burdens. The second step involves recognizing the possibility that a setback or an unfavorable event may be a blessing in disguise. Every event, in essence, is neutral. It takes on a positive, negative, or neutral connotation based on the nature of our attention. Instead of perceiving it only as bad, we can change our perspective and ask, how could this event be potentially advantageous? How could it bring goodness into my life? Now, what exactly does a blessing in disguise mean? Sometimes things happen to protect us. It is plausible that within an apparently negative situation, there is a protective element, shielding us from potential harm or unfavorable experiences. Consider the possibility that events happen for a reason, orchestrated by a higher force or the universe. For example, missing a bus may have prevented you from being involved in an accident or encountering a negative circumstance, serving as a form of protection. The key to exploring these perspectives lies in reaching a state of acceptance. If you find yourself after a recent injury or a recent negative event, it's reasonable not to immediately seek blessings in disguise. Initially, focus on reaching a state of acceptance and acknowledgement that the event really happened. After making the transition to a more neutral state, you can contemplate how the situation could potentially produce positive aspects. The final step is to consistently redirect your attention to what you really want. Reaching a state of total equanimity and acceptance frees up our attention, giving us the freedom to sincerely choose our desires. Mastering this skill makes you unstoppable. External obstacles have no power over you. This process becomes the guiding force that determines the life path pursued and the manifestation of the quantum events experienced. The crucial point lies in the deliberate direction of our attention, shaping the trajectory of our reality. There is deep wisdom in the emphasis placed by many ancient cultures and religions on the concept of attention, urging individuals to observe, pay attention, and be in observation mode. In this approach, we combine apolar attention with acceptance, transcending notions of good or bad, and simply recognizing that an event has occurred. Subsequently, we explore potential blessings in disguise and culminate in a positive mode. In a state of equanimity, this process is one of the most powerful tools for shaping the desired reality. As co-creators of reality, attention emerges as the primary instrument. Mastering its effective direction enables us to manifest the life we aspire to live. The message I want to leave you with today is this. If you feel depressed, give yourself permission to accept this emotional state. Once you have reached a state of equanimity, shift your focus to what is desired. Trying to hide, repress, or suppress your emotions can have repercussions in the future. At this point, even seemingly positive actions, such as reciting affirmations in front of a mirror, can inadvertently be a form of resistance, as you may be suppressing genuine feelings through these affirmations. It is crucial to recognize and acknowledge your emotions before redirecting your attention to positive aspirations. Applying this three-step method consistently holds the transformative power to totally reshape your life. By mastering the art of acceptance, redirection, and deliberately choosing what is desired, you release energy previously wasted on resistance. Effectively channeling your attention allows you to create the reality you want to experience. It is essential to understand that acceptance is not synonymous with surrendering to defeat. On the contrary, it is a recognition of the current reality. Within this realm of acceptance, clarity of vision emerges, unveiling the path to the desired destination. Embracing the worst-case scenario marks a crucial moment when we release energy previously spent on futile resistance. In this shift, our attention becomes the driving force of change. Redirecting our focus to what we desire initiates a reconfiguration of reality in response. As co-creators of our reality, we possess the inherent ability to select our path, shape our experiences, and mold our destinies. Genuine transformation happens when we consciously choose to direct our attention to the meaningful aspects of our lives, propelling us forward with confidence and purpose. On this journey, remember, you are the architect of your own destiny. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If the content of this video resonated with you, I encourage you to like and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with others, allowing them to benefit from the message, and feel free to leave a comment below, sharing your ideas, reflections,